all of the mistakes or risks that you've created in the business before the day that you sell the company. So let's say that you have a company and I'm going to help you exit and we're going to get a premium valuation on the company. And we've got a buyer in front of us. We're going to sell for a 5X multiple. It's a $5 million deal and it closes on, let's use Halloween. Okay. October 31st. Okay. All of the liability that you built up in this business, whether that be you treated an employee wrong and you might have a potential lawsuit, whether that be Amazon shutting down a product because you didn't have the right to sell it, all of that liability stays with you as the seller. Now, my job as your advisor, and I will say this, we are experts in this, is to minimize that liability as best we can through negotiations. But the pure fact is that if you have a bunch of, we call them skeletons in the closet, if you have all of that risk that you've built up, either through a holdback or through what's called a future indemnity claim, you are on the hook for that. And then the buyer, on the flip side, all of the things that happen after the sale, you're no longer liable for. So if a buyer decides to bid on keywords after Halloween on November 15th and that shuts down a listing, that's not your problem. But most people don't really recognize and think about that because, oh, you create a little bit of a mistake here, you did a little bit of a mistake there, and you can actually sort of accumulate, oh, you didn't pay sales taxes on non-Amazon sales because it wasn't collected, and now you've built up a liability there. All of that comes away from your purchase price, or at least has a risk of coming away from your purchase price. So again, I always like to say the true way to evaluate your deal is what we call the lifetime effective multiple.